A project costs $34,000 and generates the cash flows given below in years 1 through 3. Suppose the firm uses the net present value decision rule and has a required rate of return of 11%. Should the firm accept this project? What if the required rate of return was 30%? Let's first consider the case where the required rate of return is 11%. Our first step is to find the present value of each of the cash flows. The time zero cash flow of $34,000, the project cost, has a present value of $34,000. The year 1 cash flow of $16,000 needs to be discounted back at 11% for 1 year and has a present value of $14,414. The $18,000 cash flow in year 2 should be discounted back at 11% for 2 periods and has a present value of $14,609. The year 3 cash flow of $15,000 should be discounted back at 11% for 3 periods and has a present value of $10,968. The next step is to sum the present value of the cash flows in years 1 through 3. The sum of these present values is $39,991. The net present value then is the present value of the cash flows, the $39,991, minus the $34,000 project cost. Our project has a positive net present value of $5,991, and at an 11% required rate of return, we should accept the project. At a 30% required rate of return, we're going to find a slightly different answer, and that's because as our interest rate goes up, the present value of our cash flows decreases. Once again, the initial project cost of $34,000 at time zero has a $34,000 present value. The $16,000 we receive in year 1 should be discounted back at a 30% interest rate for 1 period and has a present value of $12,308. The $18,000 we receive in year 2 will be discounted back at 30% for 2 periods and has a present value of $10,651. The $15,000 we receive in year 3 will be discounted back at 30% for 3 periods and has a present value of $6,827. Again, we sum the present value of the cash flows in years 1 through 3 and find a present value of $29,786. We calculate the net present value by taking the present value of the cash flows, the $29,786, and subtracting the initial project cost of $34,000. We find at a 30% required rate of return, our project has a negative net present value, and we should reject the project.